What's up, everybody, and welcome to the wonderful game of Risk. I am Logan, aka Laser G, and I got a special ep for you today that I spent way too much time making. I'm going to be giving you 5 super simple ways to win more games of Risk. I am a highly rated master at this game, almost a grandmaster, but that's a whole other series. Check out my other content if you're curious to see me fail to become a grandmaster many times. But this was a super fun game. We had a lot of really good players, a lot of really bad players, and like I said, it took forever to make this video. So please, if you like it, consider subscribing, joining the squad. We're going for 500. Let me know in the comments if you're number 500. So we're going to start off right away, and the first tip is try and make alliances with everyone. At first glance, Risk seems like it's a war game, right? I have a lot of people coming up to me saying, oh my god, you play Risk, it's so violent, you're such a boy. But it's actually not a war game, it's actually a diplomacy game. Because if everyone teams up on you, if everyone tries to kill you, you are going to lose. So if you're playing with alliances, you need to use them. I try to make alliances with everyone as soon as I possibly can, and I have a lot of experience with how other players react. I've sent thousands of alliance requests. And you know what you learn from doing that, from sending thousands of requests, is that good players are going to accept the alliance most of the time. Newer players either don't respond to the request or straight up will reject your request. In this game, we got lucky that every single player accepted, even the newer players. But I can tell you it's a quick way of figuring out if someone's new to the game that they reject your alliance. Alliances are really helpful in a number of ways. So the first is the most obvious, right? All other things being equal, if you're allied with someone, they're probably not going to hit you. They're probably going to choose to hit someone who's not their ally. More importantly, they allow you to communicate and coordinate with people rather than just straight up killing someone if they're in your way and you getting killed if you're in their way. So that communication ability you just don't have if you're not allies. Super important. And for very skilled players, they allow you to communicate very complex plays. Like you can prevent one of your opponents from being able to get a card. You can slowly hit someone who's weak, and you can sort of both team up on them without either of you overextending. So you can do really complicated things with alliances, but also very simple things like not just straight up killing someone who's in your bonus and vice versa. You might think if you're inevitably going to go to war with someone, if you have 10 in Australia and they have 10 in Australia, why would I be allies with them, right? We're just going to kill each other anyway. There's no point in being allies. But that's almost always not the case, right? You're almost always better off trying to peacefully resolve a situation, trying to get your opponent to leave, or you try and get them to let you leave. You're almost always better off being allies in that process than not. And of course, you can always break your alliance if someone stabs you in the back, if they're doing something that's very aggressive to you. But be very careful breaking your alliance, especially with newer players. So for example, you can see here, I could have easily broken my alliance with Pink, who was just being dumb and leaving his troops in Europe, even though I was obviously trying to take Europe, even though he had a road to leave. But breaking the alliance with Pink could have triggered them to attack me. And I was pretty sure they were a newer player, right, who just didn't know what they were doing. So rather than break my alliance, I was patient. I used lots of hearts to get what I wanted. And of course, that's a good life lesson too, but we won't go there. In this situation, we did manage to take Europe and hold Europe for basically the entire game by being patient, by being allies with Pink. So definitely recommend taking the high road, trying not to piss people off, and not breaking your alliances when they piss you off, guys. Tip number 2, which is very much related to tip number 1, is don't mess with noobs. Don't mess with noobs, guys. If you can see that a newer player is trying to take a continent, or they're trying to move from one continent to another continent, or they just have a big stack somewhere, run away. Don't get anywhere near them. Don't piss them off. Don't even leave your stack anywhere nearby because they will probably hit it. You can see here that Orange, who actually turned out to be a master in this game, is making this mistake, right? They can see that Purple has added a lot of troops to Australia, which was a mistake, right? That's showing that Purple is not great, and they decide to block Purple from taking Australia, which seems like a good play. It would work against someone who's a master or a grandmaster, but because Purple is not one of those players, Purple ends up hitting them as soon as they have a set, which is very predictable, right? So you need to be constantly evaluating and reevaluating how good you think your opponents are. And if you determine that someone is a newer player, you need to get out of their way because they're going to hit you. And the advantage that you get from blocking them is very rarely as big as the disadvantage you get from getting in their way. So don't mess with noobs, guys. I promise it will not work out well for you. All right, on to tip number 3, and that is to calculate the value of continents. And this one is definitely controversial. You'll see a lot of newer players spending huge amounts of troops to take Australia, especially Australia, and also some of the other continents. Newer players tend to really fixate on getting those bonuses. And then you also see the opposite from good players. A lot of good players play very passively and they undervalue continents because they're overcompensating for this new behavior of going really hard for Australia, for South America. You can see in this game, I saw right away that I could hold Europe for most of the game. And this would give me 20, 25, 30 troops. And that's a really decisive advantage, right? That was a huge advantage for me in this game. But a lot of good players might not have done that. They might have seen that blue was there and that pink was there and hedged their bets, play a multi-positional strategy instead. And that intuition they have that taking a continent can get them killed. The thing is, life is usually too complicated to solve with these simple rules, and the same is true for taking continents and risk. By adding all of my troops to Europe here, I got pink and blue to both leave peacefully, and I took the bonus with almost no effort. So the advice isn't don't take continents, and it's not do take continents. Really, the advice is you need to calculate the value of holding the bonus, minus however many troops you're likely to lose from taking it, and minus the likelihood that someone breaks your bonus by hitting your stack. You need to take all of that to account, and basically what you're doing is an expected value calculation. A good thing to remember is that progressive games are likely to end by turn 8 or turn 9, so keep that in mind when you're doing your calculations. If you can take Australia on the first turn, for example, you're going to get +2 troops for maybe 8 turns, so say you get 16 extra troops, which is really important. But if you take Australia on turns 7 or 8, like we see from red here, that might only get you 2 troops in total, which is obviously not worth the huge amount of troops you're losing to get it. So take the 30 seconds, do the mental math before you commit to taking a continent or before you commit to running away. And if you want a simple rule of thumb, in progressive cards, take South America or Australia when it's basically uncontested and leave the other continents alone. You'll generally do okay following that advice. If you want to reach Master or Grandmaster, though, it helps to do the math and sometimes get lucky for a continent like Europe here. All right, so the fourth tip is to pay attention to kill guards, guys. A kill guard is when one player has a small stack of troops that's hard for most of their opponents to reach. For example, this 2 stack that purple has in North America, outside of their Australia that they've been focused on the whole time, is what I would consider a weak kill guard, since only orange, blue, and white, me, can easily reach that stack. That means red and pink will have a really hard time killing purple late in the game. And not coincidentally, red, pink, and purple are all novices and beginners, whereas orange, blue, and I are all masters. This is something that masters and grandmasters think a lot about. Where am I being kill guarded? Where do I have kill guards? Is someone going to hit my kill guard to make a kill? Do I need to strengthen my kill guard? Do I want to be kill guarded here so that someone can't kill me? It's all something that you should be thinking about all the time. Where are the kill guards on the board? And to get good at risk, it's really, really critical that you make sure your kill guards don't get hit. If someone needs to hit your stack to make another kill, you might be next, right? Because if they hit that big stack of yours, you're going to be very weak. I would argue that here, blue, who is again a master, is making a small mistake in removing purple from North America because they're basically sacrificing the advantage they have of having this kill guard. And kill guards are especially critical when you're playing with Fog of War, since you can often hide a kill guard somewhere that only you can see and cause your opponents to waste basically all of their troops trying to make a kill they have no chance of making. So pay attention to your kill guards, guys. Very important if you want to be a master at risk. Well, congratulations on making it to the 5th and final tip, and that is to use the 5-troop rule. The 5-troop rule is something that I created, and here's how it works. So you can see that blue here is starting with a 25 stack and trying to hit 24 troops of pink plus 1 troop of mine. That is cutting it very, very close, right? 25 to kill 25. And although the attacker has a slight advantage, it's actually a little bit too close, and you can see that blue fails this kill. So my rule, the 5-troop rule, is that you want to subtract however many troops you need to kill from your starting stack, in this case 25, and you need to have at least 5 troops left over. It's not a perfect rule, but it's a pretty good rule of thumb, right? So if blue had instead started with 30 troops, I think they can make that kill and win the game. If they fail the kill, which they do, you end up feeding the game to someone else. And you can see here an even worse attempt from pink to make this kill on orange. They're going to fail it because orange has a lot of troops in Africa that they can't quite get to. So you really want to use something like the 5-troop rule. I know some people use a ratio of troops that they need to kill. I really like making it simple math, right? Simple subtraction, keeping it simple. The 5-troop rule is super, super useful. And you can see here, failed kill from pink, and they all end up feeding me the game, which we like to see. And now for your viewing pleasure, I present you with the end of this game, and it was a fun one. Hope you enjoy. And locks it still. Bad play. Okay, we set in. Southern Europe. Yeah, Southern Europe seems good. Okay, I'm gonna say good game. That can knock that out. This hits there, and then we want to kill blue next, which we'll be able to. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Slider on the 24. And then we're going to go fast for the rest of it. Wow, we get horrible dice. Jesus. Let's do this. I am attacking orange, bro. Don't know if you can tell. Yep. Okay. Get that kill. Actually, I think that was a mistake because I blocked that off that way, but it's fine. Okay, set in again. Afghanistan. I want Northern Europe. No, that's fine. All right. So we got a lot of troops locked over there, but now we're going to hit blue. We need, what is the 32 to be safe? And then that can get the rest there. Yeah, we actually don't even need to add anything else here. Okay, here we go. 100%. Nice. And this can come down. Get the blue kill. Man, everyone really fucked that up at the end. Everyone else really fucked that up at the end. Crazy. Take this. Just hit red as hard as we can here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I missed my 4 to 5, but I mean, red's toast. Yeah, red's totally toast. We have 5 cards. That's game. Good game. Yeah, red's gonna break all my stuff. It's fine. I mean, this game's over. Cool. All right, well, turns out holding Europe in progressive can definitely work. It can definitely work. Gotta like that. Open the 29, please, sir. Open the 29. I mean, credit to red for still fighting here. Yeah, like, credit to red for still fighting. I don't really even think I played a particularly good game. I definitely can think of a couple mistakes that I've made already. But I think our opponents were quite bad. And them being really friendly to me and all allying me up and not really interrupting me, other than pink by accident. Yeah, red plays the style of just hiding his troops. It's not going to work out for you, buddy. Cool. Okay, trade in. Get 57 troops. Good game. Well played. What do we need? So that can knock that out. Yeah, sorry, buddy. I know. No fun, right? Not fun to lose. Okay, here we go. And we do this. And that is your game. Give him a little fist bump. Thanks for being allies with me. Appreciate ya. And send you to the grave. Sorry, Red. We win again. That was a fun one. Ooh, I like holding Europe. This is a fun strategy. I like the hold Europe strategy. All right, Future Logan is back here. Hope you enjoyed the end of that game. I know I certainly did. Let me know in the comments what I missed, what other tips you would add here, if you found any of it particularly useful, and please do consider subscribing. Like I said, this video took absolutely forever, and I would really appreciate if you join the squad. We're almost at 500 subs, and I'm excited to see you in the next one.